everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. Dicing with Death.
Dicing with Death.
Death with dice. No. So
we are heading out of Keldaram.
We are.
I'm being led by Captain Raina Redspear.
Yes, you are. Anything that in particular that you would like to ask or say or do along this journey?
I think that will depend on her. I mean, I could see it just being just a silent walk, unless she asks me news of like what I've been up to.
Yes, she will politely ask you what you've been up to. Not in the like, Zweihardt, what have you found in the east? But more of like, so how's your month been, Zweihardt?
My month has been trying. Einard sent me to Milfaldur to treat with the dwarves there. However, upon my arrival, Milfaldur was sieged by Cyclops. And I fled the city by ship.
My God, by the gods, what would drive a dwarf of your stature to seek refuge on the sea?
I just told you, Cyclops.
Clearly, it's just...
They sieged Milfaldur. So I suspect they will not be helping us or joining us in our glorious crusade anytime soon. They clearly have their own troubles to sort with.
She grumbles in traditional dwarf fashion.
But it seems the gods had other plans for me. I fled the city, I fled the siege, and was swept aboard the ship, and the sea breeze carried me east on a divine quest. I made it all the way to Heatstroke, and saw with my own eyes a foul pestilence. Demons have taken the city. Villages are abandoned. It is dark times. Does she look like she believes me?
She looks very concerned, and actually doesn't give you a reply at all. Just kind of quietly walks alongside of you for the duration after that.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to tell her, but she asked.
Yeah, she did. Yep.
And we walk a couple of miles, which takes probably like an hour.
Yep. You do come to a small fort built on top of a rather large hill nearby.
Did they construct this fort for the purpose of making a battle camp, or was this already here?
It's an older fort. It's been here for a long time. It has palisade walls that rise up and are reinforced with stone on the inside, and a small watchtower, and a large opening in a large courtyard for a griffin to land at. Dwarves see you coming and throw open the gates, let you on in, and Raina immediately leads you to your brother, salutes to him, and then kind of stands outside waiting.
Is he in like a command tent, or I guess we're in a keep? Is this a stone keep?
I mean, it's like a wall with some tents and some smaller underground structures. So it's a weak fort.
So imagine like a ruined stone tent ruined stone keep that has been made into a command post, or
no. It's a palisade wall fortified area that has been here for a long time. It's more of like a lookout post. It's not particularly large. It's not like it's meant to hold large numbers of dwarves. It's just like, this is a really good spot to get a survey of the land and see what might be coming through the hills, sort of thing. Yeah. So your brother's there. He's in one of these tents, one of the above ground tents, and sees the weird look that Raina gives him. And
Einard, it pleases me to see you. It has been a trying couple of weeks. And I like embrace him or whatever, or shake hands, rub beards, whatever dwarfs do.
There's a lot of beard rubbing, definitely.
It sounds like your crusade has been met with much success. I hear that the hobgoblins flee before your bolts.
Most frustratingly so, brother. My men are more enthusiastic about our victories than I am. I was hoping to round up the lot of them and bring them down, but they seem to be fleeing before us. Their damn legs are so large. It's easy for them to run.
I was surprised to find you stationed in Kelduram. It is pure a stroke of fate that I have met you here. I sent a message to Blacksteel Keep, but it seems you are not there to receive it. All the better that I can deliver my grim tidings in person.
Grim tidings? Will Milfaldur not back us in the war?
Milfaldur has greater troubles. I reached Milfaldur and treated with their king. What was his name? Lord Bloodstone. However, shortly after my arrival, the city was besieged by Cyclops. Dozens of them awakened from the hills and...
Are we overstating things for dramatic effect here, brother?
Nay.
Nay?
No.
Dozens, plural. No fewer than 24 Cyclops.
Many Cyclops. I fled the city by sea in the midst of the siege. I heard word that hundreds were killed. The palace was sieged and damaged, but it seems the city still stands. But I suspect that the dwarves of Milfaldur will be quite preoccupied for some time.
I see.
It gets worse, brother. I fled the city and was swept east, I think by a divine quest.
You see, he sort of like rolls your eyes when you say divine quest.
I fell in with some halflings and made it to their village north of Heatstroke. And it is there where the real trouble began. Villages south of there, an abbey and villages had been abandoned, and a foul pestilence had befallen the land. I followed this pestilence south to Heatstroke, which I think is the center of the trouble. The city has been taken, overrun by demons. I pause for a moment to gauge his reaction.
He's nodding along with this as if it's confirming something he already knows.
Okay. The Great Pyramid at Heatstroke appears to be the center of this trouble. At night it glows purple, and the sounds of braying demonic dogs can be heard. I think it is some portal to a foul dimension where these from whence these beasts have emerged. As I said, the villages nearby have been abandoned. Their people are missing, but unaccounted for. I don't know if the demons are taking them or what, but I suspect the plague will continue west. I fear that the goblinoids may just be the first of our troubles.
Your brother thinks for a moment, walks with you up to the battlements, and kind of looks out over the hills around you all. Heatstroke, you say?
I nod.
They are many, many miles from us. There's
Yes.
fortune in between. The Great Plains, filled with all manner of beasts. Meadstead, River Crux in the Razor Brook, Honey Rapids. Even the Horse Lords of Plainsview sort of stand in their way.
I nod.
How long, with all these interruptions, would you assess it would take whatever monsters there are there to reach us here?
I think for a second and let out a sigh. You were right, brother. I'm glad I have returned home. I needed this grounding. You speak true. I do not think that these demons will threaten us anytime soon. And if so, we will have many, many months to prepare.
I am more concerned about the Cyclops.
I nod. Yes.
Dozens of Cyclops are...
They were sleeping beneath the ground. Have you heard of this? Hibernating or something. I was with Bloodstone's soldiers when we investigated them. We found one buried beneath the hills. I fear our disturbing it roused the rest from their slumbers. I wonder how many more of these giants lie sleeping beneath the hills. In any case, it would. I do not think the dwarves of Milfaldur will join us at present with their own troubles. But if perhaps we can aid them in the fight against the Cyclops, we may be able to unite our great kingdoms.
Perhaps. In the time that you've been gone, I have heard unpleasant things from the humans south of our home. Those around Confluence and Meadstead and Blue Cliff have been fighting amongst themselves. Small armies or patrols of men have been moving about, armed and asking questions. Even the Baroness of Meadstead seems to be in the process of battling off her own brother.
Really? In times such as this, the humans squabble amongst themselves?
Your brother nods. Yes.
Foolish, short-sighted people.
Absolutely. Well, he says, looking back towards you instead of over across the hills. What would you do now, brother? Would you join us in the campaigning against the hobgoblins, driving them from wherever we can? Or do you have something else?
I would do what we dwarves have always done in times of trouble or times of peace. I would mine.
Someone... yes, go ahead.
These demons are not harmed by ordinary weapons, I do not think. I found a foul tendril growing from the ground itself, made of flesh. My steel axe could not cut it, but mithril, that does the trick. Did I tell you of those halflings I met east in the Hemdercost Hills on my first quest?
He nods. Yeah, I seem to recall something of short and stout travelers.
They were searching for mithril, I think for this reason. They had their father abbot had sent them on this quest. I believe fearing demons, they sought out mithril. I think we should do the same. And for the goblinoids, iron will do just fine.
Excellent.
The orcs in the east have forges. I think perhaps maybe at some point those would be a strategic strategic target.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can find Mithril in these hills, as the halflings suspected, that would make us the richest dwarves in the kingdom.
Mm-hmm. I like the way you speak, brother. I shall appoint you Vizier of Blacksteel Keep and its lands while I am gone. You shall oversee the mining operations, as well as the production of weapons of steel and mithril, if you can find them. The resources. For now, let us keep the mithril in our own hands, turn it into weapons of war, and melt it down for sale later, if need be.
Mithril is priceless.
True.
If we can procure iron, that will make us rich. But mithril will make us strong.
Your brother nods and clasps you roughly on the shoulder and brings you in for a tight hug and says, "This is why you're a black steel brother.
Bro hug.
You clearly understand."
I am honored that you trust me with such a task. What of you? You plan to continue campaigning against the goblins?
Until such time as something more pressing becomes apparent, yes. I think we've rooted out where one of their large weapon caches is. I hope to storm it and burn them all to the ground. Your quarry goes to ground, leave them no ground to go to.
Well, I suppose I should return to Blacksteel Keep then and ensure that things there are running smoothly.
Yes.
We ought to keep our ears to the east, perhaps reach out to any contacts we may have, but I do not think the troubles of the east will be ours anytime soon.
I will speak to the Count about it. Make sure that he is apprised, up to date on all of the developments. Maybe he will lend us a Griffin Rider to communicate with them. And I think with that, you guys go your separate ways.
Yeah, there's nothing. This weapons cache thing is not something I would join them in.
If you want to adventure with them, but they're just going to go, attack a goblin hideout. You could go campaigning with them if you'd like, or you can return back to Tharnum.
The weapon cache just sounded like a promising lead, but I think we can settle this out of character. I mean, if you don't think that's
no. I mean, it's probably not going to be super interesting. You'll be traveling with a bunch of other dwarves, and if there's hobgoblins there, a fight will ensue, and then they're just going to destroy the weapons. So
okay, no, I guess I will return to Blacksteel Keep, and then see to tracking down Mithril. That may be a longer term thing. I don't know how easy that'll be to find, but maybe heading east and taking some of those orcish iron forges.
Okay.
Cool stuff. Anything else we want to do? Shall we do experience?
Let's see. It's going to be like a 4-day journey back to Blacksteel Keep. This area's already been cleared by dwarven armies, so there's nothing there.
I will probably do that alone, I assume.
Yeah, just with your goats.
Me and my goats.
Yeah.
Who, by now I'm probably teaching how to, instead of just stay, how to guard.
Oh, you're teaching the guards to goat. No, the goats to guard.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'm going to teach them how to attack.
Oh my. Attack goats.
Battle goats. Let's see. Yeah,
let's do experience.
Yeah, should we check that check for any encounters, and if not, just head back to Blacksteel Keep?
Yeah. Counter chances are low. No, definitely not. No. No encounters. So let's do experience.
Training each trick takes a week. How many intelligence points does a goat have?
2, maybe at best.
Yeah, they can learn 3 tricks per intelligence point. I'll look up on. Yeah, so maybe they'll just be able to do stay, guard, and attack. But let's see. Oops. Yeah. Okay, so you can calculate experience.
Okay. So let's start with, what have you done today? You revisited the shrine, you huffed the vapors and had visions of the future.
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't defeat any of those demon dogs, but
no, but visions of like monsters and the ground-eating people and whatnot is pretty important to your character's development, I would say.
Sheep only do have 1 intelligence.
Yeah,
so I can teach them only 3 tricks. Cattle have 2 to 4.
Smart critters.
Goats are dumber than cattle.
Goats are definitely dumber than cattle.
Okay. Are we gonna call stay and guard the same command, or are those separate commands?
I think those are separate commands. I think stay is just like, don't, just be there, but if other people want to come to you, it's fine. Whereas guard is defend this area against anything else. They're definitely separate.
Okay.
So let's see. There's visions. There was actually seeing heat stroke. That was super worth it. And convincing the halflings to get the hell out of town instead of staying is worth a small XP for that.
Did they wind up fleeing?
They ended up fleeing, yes, and they will escape whatever troubles are
and
pursuing them.
And hopefully bring word of the demons.
Let's see, what else do we have here? You've met up with your brother and relayed all of this information back to him. That is definitely worth You are given the job quest, self-appointed quest of mining out this other stuff. That's worth a little bit here. The only combat was, vision
the only combat was a hallucination.
Yeah.
And then the bush. I attacked that bush.
You did. You did beat the bush.
I used all those spells in the furtherance of my... I don't know.
Why don't you take home 3,000 experience for today's session?
That's I should fight things less often.
Yeah, the vision was 1,000. The seeing heat stroke was 1,000. The saving the halflings was 250. Reporting to your brother was 250, and there was something worth 500 in there, and I don't remember what it was.
It's the halflings. Maybe it's the new appointment as Vizier.
Oh, I think the new appointment was 250, and telling your brother was 500. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, dividing that by 2 brings me to 11,900 with each class. I might level up with priest next time. Level 5 is 13,000.
Yeah,
level 3 spells. Wow.
You're likely to level as priest next time, even.
And what is his fighter?
2, 4, 8, 16.
Yeah. So fighter's a little ways away. Fighter level curve starts leveling off, though, doesn't it? Leveling off.
Yeah, but not until like level 7 or 8 or something. It's pretty far down the road.
Yep. Cool stuff.
All right. That's
anything else? I think that's it.
I do think that is it. Yeah. So we will be back next Tuesday, but I think next Tuesday we're gonna do something a little bit different. We
might have time for both, but
you want to tell them what we're gonna do?
We were planning to have a discussion of rogues, thieves in various systems. So I think we meant to do this earlier when Qualnir was still chugging along, like while we got Qualnir and Grimes fresh in the mind. But we were going to talk a little bit about thieves in 2E, thieves in, or the new thief class that you did. Compare, contrast, discuss, and maybe see where you wanna take the class in future systems. So a little discussion there. Maybe we'll have time for both. Do like hour or two of discussion, 2 hours or so of dicing with death. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Sounds good.
Cool stuff. You got anything else to plug? What's going on the rest of the week?
We have Rise of the Dragon Queen on Thursday, Shenanigans on Saturday.
Maybe Sunday we can do a Frofro flashback.
Yeah, I'm down.
We'll see.
Grimes has 1 or 2 flashbacks left in him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be great because we don't have anything planned for this Sunday otherwise. So I would love to do a Grimes flashback on Sunday.
Yeah, let's try and do that. I think I should be available this weekend.
Let me put it on the calendar right now before we all forget.
Yeah. So it seems Assassin is wrapped up, so that's not tomorrow. But if you haven't seen that, you can catch the VODs.
That's right. And we'll be doing a Kuban Nights planning this week and next and all that fun stuff.
Kuban Nights.
Like a Kuban Days. Yep. There's no start date for it yet. We'll see at the end of this week and next. We'll probably nail down a start date for it. And we'll start getting artwork for it. And all this fun stuff, because we're going to be doing a few unusual things with the Kuban Nights, even unusual by our standards, which hopefully will be fun things. Lots of new spells and new ways of doing magic, which I'm super excited for.
And you're going to be implementing a heat system, right? And they've got to equip gear to fend off the harsh desert temperatures.
It's more to do with the sand and the winds that are blowing against them. So you want the right amount of protection from the dust storms and the sandstorms, but then you need like a cooling factor. So it's about how much water you can carry on you at all points in time. And
so you'll be tracking the hydration level of every party member?
Yeah, everyone's going to have hydration levels based on con and experience. And I'm kidding. We're not going to do any of this. Unless they do travel over big open deserts, in which case water will become a very important thing. But we're not doing a hydration system.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Ryan, what are you doing for the rest of the week that people can find out about?
Nothing to find out about. I don't know. Writing. The usual. Chilling.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. My shitty papers are all over the internet, so you can track those down.
I hope they're not shitty.
I do my best, but it's a work in progress, right?
Isn't everything
always getting better?
Yeah. Well then, we're off.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys around. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.